Hi, this is Priyanka Sundar, and I'm with the New Indian Express.
Hello, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. I'm super excited to be talking to you today, and I'd like to jump right in. This is about one of the most exciting scenes in the film for me, and that is the duel between two Doctor Strangers with the musical notes. So, my question is, what was it like to create that score, and what was it like to work out that score with Sam Raimi?
Well, it was really the very, very last second because my first version of it, I was combining a number of both scoring it, but also doing a number of different kinds of themes of different composers, uh, light to heavy. And then in the very last moment, I got
Mhm.
on a call with Sam and Kevin Feige, and Kevin is the president of Marvel,
Mhm.
and he said, "I really want it to be just a battle between Bach and Beethoven." And I thought, "Oh, cool, let's do that." And I wrote it really fast and just got it in the film in time for its release. So it was really this sense of like, let's make Doctor Strange, Beethoven's Fifth Symphony, and the evil Doctor Strange, Bach's Staccato and Fugue. Uh, and it was so fun to do, even though we barely squeaked it in by a hair.
So that brings me to the question of what it's like to work with a director that you're so comfortable with. You worked with Raimi on so many films, but this is his first Marvel film, right? So, and how was it like for you to bring about that dynamics?
Working with Sam has always been a treat. It's like a special treat when I do his films because he's such a nice guy and he's very funny. And our meetings together tend to be jokes and funny. Some directors, it can be very serious when you're playing music and working together, but Sam turns it into kind of like a just a fun time. And he's always been like that. And I do feel so comfortable with him. We go back so far, and we have this long history. My first, really, well, I met my wife on the set of one of his movies that I scored called A Simple Plan. So we're connected in so many ways. We often call our son the child of the Evil Dead because my wife and I were both such fans of Sam Raimi. Had a movie called The Evil Dead, and that's what
Uh-huh.
brought us to love Sam before we even met him. And so we were both fans of his, and then we finally meet on the set of one of his movies, and now here we have a 17-year-old Oliver from that happy coincidence.
Right. Just like the director is not new to you, superhero films are not new to you either. You've done Batman, Justice League. So, what is it like to score music for a film such as this in comparison to, say, Evil Plan? How is it any different?
Well, it was different in regards to the fact that it got real crazy at times. So it was almost a little more like when I was scoring Batman way back
Mhm.
when, there was no rules because there was no sense of what a score should be. The only superhero model we had was Superman. And we
Mhm.
decided right away that, okay, we don't want to make it sound like the John Williams mold, even though we love that. It's beautiful, but this is just a very different tone. And
Mhm.
so it was just all experimentation and inventing. And then by the time I did Spider-Man and Hulk and Justice League, I there was more of a context for superhero films. But now coming around full circle to Doctor Strange, it was more like, let's get a little crazy again. Um, and because this film kind of supports going outside the lines a little more.
Certain heroes have a theme that could be composed by somebody different. So, how was it like to include a theme like that into the film that you're currently weaving in on? Like you did that in Justice League with Wonder Woman's theme. So, what is inclusion of such compositions into your own work like?
Well, it's fun. I mean, it was just very ironic that at the same moment, I was finding moments for Michael Giacchino's original Doctor Strange theme in the new one, and he was
Mhm.
having moments on Spider-Man of using my original Spider-Man theme in his film. and we were doing these almost simultaneously. So it was kind of a weird, strange world, but I like doing that, doing variations. And there was also a moment to WandaVision where it was like, let's just put a nod. And Marvel likes doing these with, these little Easter eggs. There's a third musical homage, which I won't say because we're still hoping fans will find this moment.
Find it.
But it's a much more obscure one that if they really pay attention, they'll find there's a third moment where I'm using another theme from a character from the way back time, and see if they could find that.
I think I'm going to rewatch it just to see if I can find it now.
Okay.
So like world building, that's very important in films like this, where there's a previous part and there's an upcoming part. So how much is, how much of it do you have to keep in your head when you're composing the music? Do you think about what comes after, what comes before? What is that process like?
Yeah, I mean, any big movie, but especially this kind of movie, is a giant jigsaw puzzle. And so when I'm starting it, I think of it like a puzzle. So I try to get the biggest pieces of the puzzle in place. And then when I'm comfortable that I have each character's theme and how it plots itself out and what will I need to do, like Wanda's theme, I knew in the beginning had to both be really pretty tragic and bittersweet, but also had to be menacing. It had to be able to go in either directions. So these are the pieces of the puzzle that at a certain point I see enough of the puzzle, and then I can go fill in all the rest.
Another favorite musical score in the film for me is the end credits as it plays out. Like both the artwork and the music is brilliant. So what was it like to compose that, work on that theme, and
Well, look, front and main titles, whether they're in the beginning or the end of the movie, are always the most fun I'm going to have on a film, because it's where I really get to explode and cut loose, and I have no dialogue, no sound effects, and it's just a total playground for me. So I live for those moments.
The genre of horror,
yes,
right? Especially with Wanda, like the Scarlet Witch. So, what was it like to compose WandaVision's part for the film?
Well, Wanda's theme really was very special for me because it's the first time I've had a villain that I also really adore, and she breaks my heart. It's a unique situation. Normally, the villain, it's Darth Vader, or it's it's heavy, and their theme is just menace, menace, menace. But here, the antagonist Wanda is also very heartbreaking, and so it was a unique time for me to be able to create a theme that could be both heartbreaking and sweet, or powerful and menacing at the same time. And I loved her character. I mean, whenever has there been a superhero villain in a movie whose goal was not to destroy the world, but to get her children back? It's like, that's so unique. I said, I've never seen anything like that or scored that type of situation. So it really was special for me.
Thank you so much for taking your time out to talk to me today, Danny. I hope you have a great day. Thank you.
My pleasure.